VHS tapes are definitely not recyclable. Those break apart and the lines get strung up through our pulleys. Plastic bags are not recyclable. They are a number 4 plastic, but there's no market for them, and they are usually contaminated when we get them after they've been traveling through the single stream process. Food jars with peanut butter, half-used peanut butter, anything with food and contamination is not considered recyclable because it's contaminated. Wood, we get pieces of trees and wood and a lot of needles. They're very dangerous. We have our employees have the proper PPE to handle the needles, but all the lines stop. So those are definitely something that was not wanted in our recyclable containers. We want those in the hazardous boxes. Golf balls, we have a lot of golf balls. Those are definitely something that clog our system and get into our pulleys. If you are unsure of what the recyclable is, what type of plastic it is, or if it is on the bottom of a container, it'll have the 3 arrows with the number of the number of the plastic that it is. Once the material gets brought in through our trucks and gets weighed, and it gets dropped into our tipping floor, it'll go up a metal belt, bringing it up to our sorting stations. There's 2 employees that are in charge of pre-sort. They're taking out the trash, the stuff that's not recyclable, the big bulky items, cardboard if there is. Once it gets past that pre-sort, it hits onto a ballistic separator. What that ballistic separator does, it has paddles and cleats and holes in the paddles, and it shakes and breaks the glass. The glass will fall underneath. The paper will get brought up to the top of the ballistic separator, and all the plastic bottles and everything else will go down below. The paper then goes through a paper belt where we have 4 employees picking out the aluminum cans and plastic bags, which are not recyclable, and other trash that makes it past the pre-sort belt. And then that gets into a baler, which we sell as mixed paper. The remaining bottles that get down onto the bottom of the ballistic separator go up to another line we call the commingle line, which we have employees picking out the milk jugs, which would be number 2 natural, and we also have them picking out detergent bottles, which is the number 2 colored plastics. From there we have the paper, the cardboard, the glass, the milk jugs, and the detergent bottles removed from the single stream, and the remaining of our lines are mainly automated. We have a metal magnet on a metal belt that pulls out the tin and puts that into a bunker before being baled. After that, we have what's called an eddy current, which is a belt with 2 negative magnets that will allow the recyclables to fall down, but the aluminum gets shot over. And then from there, we have only plastic bottles left over, and remaining stuff that had been missed. So from after, it'll go up into an optical sorter now. And what our optical sorter does is it has cameras and lights, and it detects what kind of plastic we'd like to have. So if there is a plastic bottle on the belt, the light will detect that, the camera will detect it, and a shot of air will be censored to shoot it over to a divider. So we have negative and positive. So everything has been filtered through. Then we run through a recycle, which will detect milk jugs, polypropylene, and Tetra cartons, which are like our orange juice cartons. Everything after that gets onto a belt and gets dropped right back onto our ballistic and gets recirculated through the entire process until everything has been picked. Once everything is purged out, we put that into our trash compactor, which is sent over to Excel to be burned for energy. We do not landfill anything here.